the nature of your emergency?
Welcome back to the Tactical Living Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Wilton, joined by Sergeant Wilton. Clint, how are you?
I'm good.
You know, we pre-record these episodes, and I arrange my entire schedule to where we could just watch Charlie Kirk's service today. So as you listen to this, it's going to have already happened, of course. And there has been so many deep conversations that I have had and so much self-reflection that I've had after we all had to pay witness to this terrible assassination. And I recently told somebody that if you go back and you listen to our early podcast, you'll hear me say, I believe in God, but not the God of the Bible. And Charlie Kirk is the one who changed that for me. And it was because of his intellectual way of being able to educate people about God and about faith. And also, he is the reason why I got so politically involved and why I decided to delve into learning the Constitution and constitutional law and politics. And I think that a lot of us feel that same way. Somebody asked me, like, did you know him personally? And I said, no, but I feel like I lost a brother. And I think so many of us feel that way. First of all, he was one of the first podcasters that I started to listen to, religiously, daily. My time to myself every day is in the morning when I'm getting ready and I'm doing my makeup. And it's a little bit more of a lengthy process than most people, I would say. But that's always been my time to kind of self-reflect. Sometimes I connect spiritually with my mom, or I'll listen to music. That's just my time of peace for me. If you're working 16-hour days and you know that you get an hour and a half that's just for you, a lot of that time I would spend with Charlie. And when we think about the people in our circle, when we were raised, we were always told, like, make sure that you're careful who you're friends with, right? And we think about our friends being people that we have two-way communication with. But a lot of us don't realize that the major impact that we're feeling right now is because Charlie Kirk was within the inner circle of so many of us. And it wasn't just, it doesn't necessarily have to be a two-way conversation. But when you're having the consumption of content from one person on such a regular basis, whether you listen to his podcast, whether you were checking him out over on TikTok and you only saw, the viral debates that he would have with people, or if you consumed his books, he has a new one coming out in December. We've already pre-ordered. And the reason we're feeling this so detrimentally is because there's something about being able to hit play and to hear Charlie Kirk's voice and to know that, number one, you're going to get something reliable. This is a friend that you can trust what they have to say. And number two, and most importantly for me, the reason why I kept going back is because there was so much that he shared that I knew that I would gain wisdom by, hanging out with my friend Charlie in the morning while I got ready for work.
Yeah, and I think, feeling the impact of his loss, of our loss of him, it's something that you never even recognize as being such an important factor, and how influential one individual can be within your individual life, even though you don't know them, even though you don't talk with them on a regular basis, like you're not friends with them, but you can have that friendship, you can have that closeness without even knowing someone. And he did that for us. He did that for our nation on so many levels. Being able to listen to him debate someone on a factual basis without bringing in emotion, without bringing in this mindset of, I'm right, you're wrong. It's just being able to throw out facts and just say, well, these are the facts associated to it. Change my mind. Yeah.
I remember, I want to say maybe 2.5 years ago when I started hearing him tapping out from all things tech on Sundays and just listening to the things that he filled his time with instead as a way of honoring the Sabbath and the evolution of that. It was so interesting to me, mostly because in my mind, I'm like, teach me your ways. Like, how do you tap out on Sundays in that way? And so I'll link his new book that's coming out in December, I believe December 9th. It's called Stop in the Name of God, Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life. And so I'm very excited to be able to check that out too. And I think that it's really interesting so I told you I've consumed his content for such a long time now, but there's something weird that has happened where after he's passed away, like even the way that I see him when I look at his pictures, like it's even more wholesome. And there are things that I didn't identify and recognize until he was gone.
Yeah. And it's been a really strange kind of thing that's happened, since his death and since everything. You've actually seen true colors come to light for people that you're like, at one time you're like, oh, I like this person. Now you're like, what the hell is going on here? And having that is, one, it's eye-opening, but two is being able to really look at that 10,000-foot view, is be able to listen to someone's message, someone's word that they're pushing out, and almost take it in a different way, because you're like, oh, now I understand even more so.
And it's so interesting to look back, because we're of course learning even more things that we never knew before, even if you were an avid listener of his show. And it's insane to me to think of somebody so young deciding to go on this quest to be able to build Turning Point USA into what it's become now.
Yeah, it's amazing the work that he has accomplished and his team has accomplished. And, it's to find the youth of our nation and to really be so passionate about trying to educate them and get them out of the brainwashing mindset that's been going on for so long.
I had read something of a younger girl who said that she wanted to find a man like Charlie Kirk one day and marry him. And so in order to do that, she needed to learn how to be more like Erica Kirk. And I thought that was so sweet. And I think that it's amazing to have somebody to where even after their death, they're continuing to inspire and to teach so many people. I mean, his subscriber count, his download count has gone through the roof, and as it should. And it's also been surprising to me to see a lot of elders, like well-respected elders in their fields, whether it's ministry or in business, and to see some people who had no idea who he was, like how. I feel like everybody, even around the world, people know who Charlie Kirk is. But it's been really interesting to see people who never did, and to hear them talk about their recent discovery and consuming his content and what it has meant for them.
What's, a perfect example of this is my mom. My mom's in her late 60s, and she actually consumes Charlie Kirk's content on a regular basis.
But she just recently found him, like months ago, she said.
Yeah, but she really liked him. She's all, have you ever heard of this Kirk guy? And at first when she told me about him, I'm like, you mean Charlie Kirk? And she's like, yeah, I like him. So, and it's weird because she's never been one that's very political, never been one that's like very open about having those conversations or anything like that. And this has created a dynamic to where she's able to articulate things a little bit better now.
And I think about your mom's values, and when people have said like this is good versus evil with all things related to this assassination, like it truly is. And we have seen that play out over and over again. And I think about the people who are aligned with the virtues and the knowledge that Charlie had to share. And, your mom, she's a Christian and she has good morals and good values. And it's no wonder why she would be drawn to that type of word and that type of messaging.
Yeah, it's when you hear someone saying the message that you of course you want to hear, but you're going to be attracted to listen to them more and to listen to different arguments. My mom loves arguing, and she absolutely loves to argue, but this is giving her a whole different understanding of how you can articulate responses when someone is disagreeing with you.
And one of the main admirable traits that I've always seen with him is his ability to show up at these college campuses, and there might be somebody who, has purple and blue hair and they're wearing a furry tail and whatever they look like. And so automatically. And so if they stepped up to the microphone, his first word of advice to the crowd was to, don't boo them, allow them to say what they say, and let's have an honest and healthy debate. And it's really unfortunate that we won't see that from him anymore.
Yeah, it's so sad, and it's something that, he managed to convince people, to give people an opportunity to speak their truths, and to see if you could change one person's mind out of 100, that's amazing work.
Yeah, I hope you've gotten some value from today's episode. If you have, do us a favor, drop a review, subscribe down below, and as always, know that I'm sending you a long, tight hug from my home to yours.